I think we're good to go. So welcome everyone. I see we have a fair number of viewers. So I hope everyone's doing well wherever you are. And so my name is Glenn Mulezo. I am the Dean of the Faculty of Arts at the University of Winnipeg. So before coming here to my own booth, I took a visit of the lobby and of all the other booths. And I'm hoping you found the booth with the cookies. It's hidden somewhere. But I can tell you they're very nice cookies if you can find them. So yes, I'm the dean of the Faculty of Arts. So the dean of a faculty is sort of like the principal of a school. I sort of oversee all of the people who teach in my faculty, and also the students. So the Faculty of Arts is a. I'm going to share a presentation with you, so that I can present more easily what we do in the Faculty of Arts. So here we go. So there is me, Glenn Molezo. I'm also, as you see there, a doctor. So I have a PhD. So that means that I can teach at university. You don't always have to have a PhD, but most people who teach at the university have a PhD. And I teach French when I do teach. So the Faculty of Arts. The Faculty of Arts is basically the engine that runs a university. You can have many types of different types of faculties at a university, but to be a university, you have to have a Faculty of Arts. You can have a university without a Faculty of Law. You can have a university without a Faculty of Medicine. But you can't have a university without a Faculty of Arts. And historically, that's where universities began about 1,000 years ago. They were first of all faculties of arts. What does it mean, arts? It doesn't mean, of course, fine arts. That's a different thing. So some universities they teach painting or sculpture and so on. We don't have that. Arts is not. That's fine arts. That's not what we mean by arts. Arts is basically what. Except for your science courses in high school, basically everything else. So languages, history, political science, sociology, and so on. So I'm going to show you what we do teach at the university. So the Faculty of Arts is sort of an umbrella for a lot of different subjects at the University of Winnipeg, and some of which you will find when I show you the list. They will be familiar to you because they are sort of what you took in high school, but in some cases there are some different subjects. So one thing to know that's a nice view. That's sort of what I see. Actually, my office is on the left. Those windows on the left, that's my office, and sort of it's within, sort of hidden within the University of Winnipeg. And it's funny because the Faculty of Arts isn't sort of visible from the street, whereas other faculties are. You see the Faculty of Science, which is a nice new shiny building. You have the Faculty of Business and Economics, where the Stella's restaurant is, but we're sort of hidden behind the castle. However, we are the biggest faculty at the University of Winnipeg. By far. So at University of Winnipeg, we have, I think, 5 faculties. From a number of points of view, if you took all of the other faculties together and put them together, we are bigger than all of them combined. So although you don't really see us from the street, we are quite large, and we have half of the professors teach within the Faculty of Arts. Half of the courses taught at the University of Winnipeg are within the Faculty of Arts. And we still graduate almost half of University of Winnipeg graduates. So I bet if I took a poll of everyone who's viewing this presentation now, and I asked you, do you think you're going to graduate from the University of Winnipeg with a Bachelor of Arts degree? I bet I wouldn't get 50%. However, students who come to the University of Winnipeg and take arts courses, I think because of the variety of courses and disciplines that we do teach, find something that students like. And many of them stick with arts or move from another faculty and take arts courses, find what they like, and end up with a Bachelor of Arts degree. So 50%, for 50% of students who come to the University of Winnipeg, the Faculty of Arts is the University of Winnipeg. So departments. So yes, the faculty is a big umbrella, and the departments are the subjects or disciplines that are taught within the Faculty of Arts. And the disciplines or the subjects are sort of bunched together under certain categories. So here you have 3 departments or 3 subjects, and they're grouped as what we call social sciences. So political science or poli-sci, psychology, sociology, those are what are called social sciences. And I'll get back in a few slides about why that is important, like the word social sciences. So these disciplines share sort of the same, they teach sort of the same way. If you study poli-sci, the methods of how you learn are sort of the same way, the same things as in psychology and sociology. Psychology is a bit interesting because in some universities, it's a science because the profs who teach in there study the brain and use electrodes and big MRIs and so on. But in our case, it's within the Faculty of Arts, but we do have professors in that department who actually do study that. So we have actual scientists in that department who study the brain. But we also have, excuse me, profs in that department who study behavior and study development and so on. So that's more of an art. And sociology studies, society. So social sciences. So we have 3 departments of social sciences. Then we have a number of departments that are grouped together under the heading of humanities. So classics. Classics is the study of Greek and Roman antiquity. We teach Latin, we teach Greek. English, of course, we all know what English is. In that department, we study the language, but also the literature in many from many countries who use English. So African, Europe, Canada, the US, and so on. History of the history of all countries, the history of all continents, the history of peoples, and so on. So that history is actually one of the largest departments on our campus. It has over 22 professors, and it's a very, very strong program. We also teach art history in that department. Modern languages and literatures, that is a department, although it's not very clear from the title, from the name of the department. That's where we teach French. That's my department. French, German, Spanish, and Italian. And the literatures of those languages as well. Philosophy, we know what philosophy is. And we teach philosophy from the ancient Greeks up to modern times and everything in between. So those are humanities departments. Sort of teach human products, human literatures, languages, and from the point of view of assignments and requirements, that's where we these are considered to be text-based disciplines. We read books in these disciplines and write like longer assignments. So those are humanities, and we have some more humanities departments. Here we go. So those are some other departments that are considered humanities: religion and culture, religions of the world, rhetoric, writing, communications, sort of like English, but you don't necessarily learn literature. You don't read novels or poetry there, but you do learn about other different types of media in this department. Theater and film, that's the closest to what would be considered fine arts, because there we teach drama, we teach and film. So we not only teach about plays, we don't not only teach about film like some universities. Here we teach how to do, how to act, how to perform, how to make films as well. So it's not only learning about what drama is, what plays are, what film is, it's filmmaking and acting and performance. We also teach in that department set making. So we actually have in that department a carpenter who helps to make sets. We also teach how to do stunts. We have a stunt coordinator in this department because that's what is required for filmmaking. Many of the students of this program end up working in the local film and theater industry. So if you go to see a production in a local theater here, or if you do see on TV some movies or TV series that are produced in Winnipeg, many of the people acting or working behind the scenes are graduates of our program. So it's a very successful program that way. Humanities, so social sciences and humanities. And so interdisciplinary programs are sort of in between. They're not really social sciences. They're not really humanities. They're sort of in between. They involve using methods and knowing things from a combination of different disciplines. So that's true for Indigenous studies. And that's where we also teach indigenous languages like Ojibwe and Cree. Criminal justice. Criminal justice is one of our largest programs from the point of view of the number of students, and is a very successful program. And many students from there go into corrections, go into policing, go into law school as well. It's a good choice for students who want to go into law school. And we're very successful with graduates from criminal justice into a variety of law schools, including a few years ago, one of our graduates was one of the first students accepted in Harvard Law School. Urban and Inner City Studies is actually a department, but it's not located on our main campus. It's actually located on Selkirk Avenue in the North End, and it serves a particular clientele, and is sort of our commitment to engaging the community. Women's and Gender Studies is also interdisciplinary, and it's a very popular program as well. So I think I've covered all the departments. That's 15 departments. Again, we have the most departments of anywhere else on campus. I think if you took up all the other departments, assigned departments, it wouldn't come up to 15. So we are a very, very large faculty. And it's important to know what we do offer. So programs are within departments. And sometimes at a university, we have programs that sort of bridge different disciplines. So even different faculties. So the program called biopsychology is a combination of psychology, which is in the Faculty of Arts, and biology, which is the Faculty of Science. So it's its own program, but it takes courses from psychology and courses from biology. So it's within the Department of Psychology. Dance program is within theater and film. Disability studies is within the Department of Women's and Gender Studies. East Asian languages and cultures, it's in the Department of Religion and Cultures. German Canadian studies, it's in the History Department. Interdisciplinary linguistics, actually, it's sort of, many of those courses are within the Faculty of Arts, but that program is actually in a science program called anthropology. And Mennonite studies is within the History Department. So Faculty of Arts is a very, very large faculty. It has a lot of things, a lot of subjects, a lot of courses for you to take and thrive in. So here is the thing about the Faculty of Arts. You cannot be a University of Winnipeg student without coming to the Faculty of Arts, and this is why. Everyone who graduates from the University of Winnipeg must graduate with 12 credits in the humanities. What does 12 credit means? It means 2 full year courses. So a course that goes from September to April, or a course that goes from September to April is a 6 credit course. So 2 of those, or sometimes many courses are divided into 2. So a course that starts in September and ends in December, that's a 3 credit course. So we have full credit courses, half credit courses. So any combination of those. So all students, it doesn't matter which faculty you're in. If you're a science student, if you're a business and economics students, you must still come to the Faculty of Arts because that's a requirement for everyone. So that's a good idea why you should know about what courses we offer and also what humanities courses there are. So humanities, again, languages, history, classics, philosophy, religion and culture, you must take, everyone must take courses in the humanities. Also, social sciences. So social sciences, we saw the departments, psychology, sociology, poli-sci. So students in a 4-year BA and the Bachelor of Business Administration, BBA, must graduate with 12 credits in social sciences. Of course, if you are an arts student, you must take science courses as well, the same. So every degree at the University of Winnipeg has specific requirements. If you major in English, you must take mainly English courses, but there are also general degree requirements which require you to take courses elsewhere. So those are general degree requirements. Also, University of Winnipeg students, all University of Winnipeg students must graduate with a 3 credit Indigenous course requirement. So what does that mean? There are courses. So there are courses we saw that are labeled humanities. There are courses that are labeled social sciences. There are also courses that are labeled Indigenous that meet the Indigenous course requirement. There are dozens of these courses. It happens that the vast majority of those courses are arts courses. They are courses in the Indigenous Studies Department. They are history courses. They are English courses. So the vast majority of those courses are within the Faculty of Arts. So that's another reason why all students who come to the University of Winnipeg should visit the Faculty of Arts, visit our website, visit our departments, because you cannot avoid the Faculty of Arts. So some faculties require some kind of special admission to be admitted into the faculty. We don't. So to come to the Faculty of Arts, you basically need the general requirements to come to university, Manitoba grade 12 and so on. So whatever general requirements for entry into University of Winnipeg, that is the same for the Faculty of Arts. Of course, there are specific courses where you need prerequisite, or to get into, like my department, the French courses, we need to assess at what level you are to place you in the appropriate French course. So some courses have that kind of prerequisite, but to enter the Faculty of Arts, there is no specific admission criteria as there would be for some other faculties. Pre-law and social work. So those are pre-professional programs. So you cannot, if you are interested in law school, if you are interested in social work and you are in grade 12, you cannot go from grade 12 into law school. You cannot go from grade 12 into social work. To go into law school, for example, at the University of Manitoba, which has a law school, University of Manitoba says, if you want to come to our law school, you cannot come from grade 12. You must have 2 years of university. So that's just the University of Manitoba. To get into social work at the University of Manitoba, for instance, you cannot go directly from grade 12. You must have 1 year of university to apply. So we say at the University of Winnipeg, because we have smaller classes, you get to know your professors very well. We can prepare you to go into law school, to apply for law school. We can prepare you to apply for social work, and we think we can do a very, very good job of that. So those are called pre-professional programs. Why? Because law is a professional program. Social work is a professional program. So we say, why not come to the University of Winnipeg to prepare you to go into law school, to prepare you to go into social work, because we think we can do a very good job. And then we're actually told by law schools, by social work schools, at other places, that we do very, very well in preparing students. But here's the thing about pre-professional programs. So I'm using the law school at the University of Manitoba as an example, and they require 2 years. However, because professional programs are very, very competitive, although they say that 2 years is okay to apply, and go ahead. If you do very well in 2 years of university, you can take your chance and apply. But the majority of students who get into law school, even at the University of Manitoba, who just requires 2 years of university, already have a full degree, which is 3 years. So I always, when students ask me about pre-law, I say, sure, go ahead, we do very well. However, why not think about finishing a degree? Why not finish an entire Bachelor of Arts degree and then apply? Because that would increase your options, because some law schools in Canada do require not just 2 years, but a full degree to even apply, because it's so competitive. So yes, we can prepare you to apply to law school. And if that means applying after 2 years, by all means, come to University of Winnipeg. We do very well. But consider spending an extra year and getting a Bachelor of Arts degree, so you can have those initials after your name. Also, let's say you do 2 years of pre-law at the University of Winnipeg. You apply to law school, you get accepted somewhere, and after a year or a few months of law school, you say, my God, this isn't for me, and you leave law school. What do you have? You have a couple of months of law school and 2 years of university, which is not a degree. So I always suggest to students who ask me about pre-law and professional programs to consider finishing an entire degree before you go into law school or social work. Why? Because it increases your chances of acceptance, because they're very competitive. And also, if you don't happen to like it, well, at least you have an arts degree or you have a science degree. So those are professional programs. I know in these booths somewhere you can download fact sheets. So you will see fact sheets for all of our departments somewhere here, either in this booth or in other booths. But also you will find fact sheets on pre-law and pre-social work, and those are called professional programs. So after graduation, one thing I want to mention as well about the Faculty of Arts and generally about the University of Winnipeg is the fact that we are primarily undergrad, an undergraduate university. We do have some graduate programs. We do have some Masters of Arts. We have Masters of Science degrees. But we are primarily undergraduate, meaning we offer the first degree, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Business and Economics. Now, the great thing about that is there are many more opportunities for students, especially when it comes to do research and to be a teaching assistant, because generally speaking, when you have a university that has graduate students, master's degree students, or PhD students. Those are the students who get to do research with professors. Those are the students who get to be teaching assistants, because you want the best students to be doing that, and students who have experience. At University of Winnipeg, you would get to do that. If you're an excellent student, you become, and because you get to know your profs very well, you have the opportunity to do research, especially as you become a more senior student. You get to do research with your professors, and also to make money. So those are great opportunities for all of our students, and it's not all universities who offer that opportunity, because in most cases, many universities have grad students. But here, because most of our students are undergrad, you get to have that opportunity. One other thing about many of our departments is that we offer different types of learning. So we have different types of courses. We have travel courses. We have exchanges. So we have departments who offer exchanges or course trips, or travel-based courses in France, in Germany, in Greece. We have some students in the past who have gone on an archaeological dig in Greece. We have students who go to Japan, to China. So those are all opportunities that make the learning experience at the University of Winnipeg and in the Faculty of Arts something very valuable. We also have experiential learning opportunities in many of our courses as well, where there is some component of the course that gives you more hands-on experience, and that happens in many of our courses. About the travel courses, given what's happening now still for next year, I don't think we have any schedule, because the possibility of travel is quite limited. So I don't think for next year, because it's not possible. But I would guess that the following year, there would be more opportunities to organize those travel courses. So I'm often asked the question, what am I going to do with my degree in arts? Because the BA, the Bachelor of Arts degree, is the one that people pick on the most about going to university. What am I going to do with my philosophy degree? Am I just going to become a poet if I take an English degree? How valuable is that? And am I going to be stuck living in my parents' basement all my life and driving my parents' minivan? There is nothing, absolutely nothing, if you look at the statistics on the graduating salaries and career opportunities for someone with a Bachelor of Arts degree. There is nothing that says that getting a Bachelor of Arts degree in any way impedes or disadvantages you compared to other degrees. The only slight disadvantage is it sometimes takes a little longer to get that job. However, once you do get that job, your career progress quickly catches up to the other areas, including the more technical areas. So this link here is from the website of Universities Canada. So you can go there, Universities Canada, and find all sorts of stats related to what I'm talking about now, the value of an arts degree. So here's the stats from there. 55% of professional leaders are grads of social sciences and humanities. You know, most politicians who make decisions on universities and so on have BAs. Like it's the degree that most leaders in the community, most politicians have, most professional leaders. It doesn't mean you have to stay there. Of course, many people have a BA and have a BEd. Many people have a BA and a law degree. Many people have a BA and, a master's in something. So having a BA does not limit your career opportunities, neither does it limit the opportunities if you want to pursue more learning. So 55% of professional leaders are grads of social sciences and humanities. Earnings of social science grads almost double within 13 years, similar to math and science grads. So if you have an arts degree, you will do as well as people who have math and science degrees. If you notice here, those are arts graduates. How do we know? The white. So once you graduate in 3 or 4 years from now, and you go to graduation, and hopefully we'll all be able to sit together, graduates are identified according to that stripe on their collar, and white means arts. So as I sit on the big platform, and I wear a gown that has a white stripe down the middle. The largest employers in Canada prefer the following skills over technical knowledge for entry-level jobs. So this type of skill is what the largest Canadian employers prefer, and they are these. The skills taught in arts. They're often called soft skills, but I don't like the word soft. You know, communication, relationship building, problem solving, analysis, critical thinking. That is what we teach in the Faculty of Arts. And that is what Canada's largest employers prefer over technical stuff. So, thank you for listening. Are there any questions? I'm more than happy to answer, to stick around. I will try to get rid of this. There we go. And stop the sharing of the screen. Wow, we have 89 viewers. So thank you again for coming, and please go and visit all of the other booths. If you have specific questions about admissions, about requirements, there are booths for you. We do have a number of arts departments who do have booths. So I think I saw when I was visiting in the lobby there and looking for the cookie booth, classics, theater and film, sociology, I think, have specific booths, and they would be able to answer more specific questions based on their own department. So if you want to go on the University of Winnipeg website, we do have a specific website for the Faculty of Arts. I'm going to quickly just share my screen again to show you where it is, what it looks like. Oh, there we go. And there it is. So this is universityofwinnipeg.ca, Faculty of Arts. So over here we have all of our departments of programs. We have some grad programs. So we have the Arts Bookshelf is all of the books published by faculty from profs from the Faculty of Arts. We have newsletters. This is the newsletter that goes out to graduates of the Faculty of Arts and shows you what we've been doing. These are all our departments, so you can go and visit these for more specific information. So you have the departments, you have the programs. So it's so I have a little thing here, why study the arts, which tells you some good things. Welcome from the dean. That's me. I look different. I had less hair there now. I have more hair now. I don't know why. Usually it's the opposite. But please visit our website as well for more information. And I'll get this stop sharing again. So, would anyone like to ask me a question? If not, that's fine.
Hi, Glenn. It looks like there's a question there from Drake about the social work program.
Social work, yes. How do I get to the question?
Discussion, yeah.
So social work, again, so we don't offer social work. It takes a larger university so to offer social work. So for example, University of Manitoba has a social work program. So however, you cannot go from grade 12 into social work. It's like law school. You have to have, to be able to apply to social work, you must have at the University of Manitoba 1 year of university. So even if you went from grade 12 to the University of Manitoba, you cannot go directly into social work. You must spend at the University of Manitoba a year before you can even apply. And from our experience and from what the people in these different programs tell us, there is no benefit from, there is no special pathway from the University of Manitoba if you spend a year there and then apply. So you go to university somewhere for a year and then you apply. And even if you come, it doesn't matter where you go to do that year, there is no special, you are not given a seat into social work at the University of Manitoba, because they say, University of Manitoba says, spend a year anywhere, then apply. So even if you went to Manitoba, University of Manitoba, you would not be given a specific seat into the School of Social Work, and then you spend a year doing, anything you want at the University of Manitoba. You have to spend a year somewhere and then apply. Now, if you are interested in one thing I would like to add is that if you are interested in a specific program at a specific university, please visit the website of that specific program. So if you're interested in social work, I don't know where, University of Calgary, please visit the website of Social Work University of Calgary to see if their requirements for application are different, because they may say it's 2 years for us. University of Manitoba says 1 year, and they're not very specific on what types of courses that are required, but that could change from year to year. So if you are interested in a specific place, specific university to do social work, to do law, please visit their specific website and see what their requirements are. I know some universities, like law school, I think in University of Toronto, requires a full degree. So you cannot just do 2 years. You have to have a full degree in order to apply. I hope that helps. So again, we don't have a social work program. We don't have a law school. We prepare you to apply somewhere else, but to make sure what those specific places require, I would suggest you visit them. Manitoba Law School, University of Calgary Law School, University of Calgary Social Work, and so on, to make sure that you are taking the suggested courses, if they suggest anything in particular. I hope that answers the question. I see a question about a graduate program. We have a specific booth. I think someone is sending you there.
Joanna as well.
Okay.
And then Josh and Sophia and Tia.
Joanna. I don't see Joanna's.
If all requirements eligibility are required, is it fair to think that we're surely able to be admitted into criminal justice? Do you have some sort of caps or limitations in number of students admitted?
I don't think there are caps. I don't think any program has caps, but I think we do have a booth that could help you, like the admissions booth. But I am not aware of any programs having caps. It is a very popular program, but I don't think the program itself has caps. You may, because it's so popular, because we have so many students interested in that program, there are caps to courses. So although you may be able to register, and I haven't heard anyone say I can't register as a criminal justice major, but sometimes there are issues with a particular course in the second year because they're all full up and we've reached the cap of the course. So I don't think there are any caps for the degree programs. I mean, every course has a cap because classrooms have a maximum number of seats. So that's what often decides what a cap is on a course. So there could be caps to courses, but I'm unaware of there being caps to any of our major programs. Next question. Jared, can you see which one it is?
What does learning look like in the Faculty of Arts for the upcoming school year? Would it be done in class or online?
So we have not decided yet what it's going to look like, because there's still a lot of uncertainty out there, and it's not just the Faculty of Arts, it's for the entire University of Winnipeg. There are certain programs right now, and it takes a lot of like cleaning and protocols and social distancing. We have certain programs that cannot be delivered without some face-to-face. Acting, performance. So there are some courses in certain programs that are being currently offered on campus, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of preparation. And they are basically like half a dozen courses in arts right now that are being offered on campus, because we cannot deliver that program without face-to-face, but it takes a lot of work. In our spring courses, like spring and summer starts in May, June, July, and so on. Again, those courses, we made the commitment a while ago. Those are all online, and online can mean a number of things. We have Zoom, we have internet-based without cameras and so on, asynchronous, synchronous, and so on. So it means a number of different things, but spring and summer, online. September, we don't know yet, because we have to rely on what the health department says, what the province says. So we have not made that decision yet. So what is the difference between a 3-year degree or a 4-year degree? Human rights is actually in another area, but that's for the same as for any program. You do more courses in your major. And sometimes if you're thinking about pursuing studies, if you're doing a master's degree, many master's degrees require you're doing a 4-year degree. So it's very difficult to find a master's program that allows you to apply after the 3-year BA. A 4-year BA is often what is most often required to do a graduate program, a master's degree. So the main difference is you will do more courses in your area of specialization. So a 4-year degree in French or Spanish or criminal justice or human rights has more courses in human rights in Spanish than a 3-year degree. Is pre-law a course you can take before applying for a law school? And so there is no particular course called pre-law. It is simply something on your transcript which says you are in a program called pre-law. Like, I have 3 degrees. Officially, I am pre-law because I could apply to law school. I have 2 years plus. I have actually 10, 11 years of university. But the fact that I have a minimum number of years of university, I am pre-law. So pre-law will be something that holds it's sort of an identifier in the system that says you are in pre-law, because you're not in a 3-year BA in French. You're not in psychology. So you are pre-law. And it is, again, you can be in any program and be called pre-law. But if you're thinking seriously about law school, and this is what you want to do, in other words, do 2 years, because 2 years is what is required at the University of Manitoba. And they don't require any specific course, if I'm not mistaken, like particular courses. You can do that. But I can easily suggest some courses for you if you're thinking about law school: criminal justice, poli-sci, philosophy, sociology. That's the type of thing that would be most useful to you as if you're considering law school. But again, if I were thinking of law school, I would be doing a full 3-year major, because it gives me something, and it gives you more options to apply to different law schools. Pre-requirements for psychology, there are none. It's psychology. You don't have to have, even if you've never taken, I think some universities, some high schools have psychology. Even if you haven't taken psychology, you can enter psychology. There is no requirement to have taken anything in high school beyond the general requirements for coming to university. Again, Indigenous studies pre-requirements, there are none beyond what you need to come to university, a certain grade point average. I think you have to have like some certain English class. There is no specific requirement to get into Indigenous studies. Is it biopsychology? Both. So there's a biology part, which is in science. There's a psychology part, which is in arts. And you can go on our website. I just showed you the Faculty of Arts website. So if you're looking for biopsychology on the Faculty of Arts website, just look for psychology and you'll eventually find biopsychology. I'm assuming that Faculty of Science also has, under their biology website or webpage, something about biopsychology. So 10 more comments. Okay, here, in order to become an English prof, what else do I have to do? English, to be a prof at the University of Winnipeg and to be a prof anywhere in Canada and to be a prof at a university is very difficult in most disciplines not to have a PhD. And it doesn't mean you can't teach at a university. We have courses taught by people who have master's degrees in many instances. But if you want to be a full-time professor and spend 30 years working at a university, it means in most disciplines, you have to have a PhD. Some disciplines, I'm thinking of theater and film, the top degree in that discipline is a Master of Fine Arts. So the Master of Fine Arts is what is called the last or the terminal degree in that discipline. That's okay. That's the equivalent of a PhD in French or in English or in philosophy. So in most cases, it takes a 4-year degree, it takes a 1 or 2 year master's degree, and then it takes a 4, 5, 6 year PhD. So I went to school. I've never been outside university since 1984. I went to university as a student, spent 4 years doing a BA, 2 years doing a master's, and 5 years doing a PhD. That's 11 years. The PhD requirements are getting a bit shorter. So generally now a 4-year PhD is what is the norm. But you're still looking at 10 years. So it's a long time, but it's well worth it if it's something you enjoy. Prerequisites for the criminal justice program. Again, arts programs do not have prerequisites. If it's something that interests you, the general admission requirements are sufficient. If you have a sufficient GPA, high school average, a certain English course, I forget what it is, there is no difference from applying to criminal justice and applying to psychology or English and so on. If I want to go to law school at UNIVM, should I enter the pre-professional pre-law and get my BA? That's two different things. Or get my BA? The thing about being registered in a pre-professional program, I'm not sure if you're in it that someone is checking what you're taking, because University of Manitoba, for instance, doesn't require this course and that course and that course and that course. So you could be taking whatever you want. So you could, as a pre-law student, be taking all 1,000 level courses, a whole number of intro courses, and then apply, which is quite okay. But let's say my suggestion to students who ask me the question is always, there is nothing stopping you from working towards a degree. So why not think about working towards a degree. Whether you finish it or not, or stop after 2 years, it's the same thing as taking a whole bunch of intro courses. So instead of taking a whole bunch of intro courses, intro psych, intro sociology, intro poli-sci, intro English, intro criminal justice, why not visit the criminal justice department or the psychology department or philosophy department and say, I'm thinking of going to pre-law, but why don't I start working towards a philosophy degree? And if I choose to leave after 2 years and apply, that's fine. But at least you're working towards something. And if it doesn't work out, if law school doesn't work out, you can come back and finish a few courses and you get a philosophy degree or a criminal justice degree. Whereas if you're taking courses without a particular pattern in 2 years as a pre-law student in the hopes of getting into law school, it would take you longer to get like a coherent program to give you a degree. So it's always my advice to students who are thinking about law school to enter a specific major. That doesn't prevent you from applying to law school, University of Manitoba, for example, after 2 years. But again, some law schools require a full 3-year degree. Is it possible to take double major in arts? Yes, of course. And I don't. So that's more of an admissions question. But you can change. The thing about university, which is great, is that yes, I think you have to declare before coming here when you apply what type of major you're interested in, but it doesn't mean you're locked into that. Now, if I were going to, there's nothing, of course, wrong with becoming a plumber. My father was a welder. My brother's an electrician. If I wanted to become an electrician, I go to a college or a technical school, and my brother took a 2-year electrical course. So if I decide to become an electrician and I do a full year of electrical training, and after a year I think, oh well, I think I'd rather do plumbing. So I have to start over. In other words, my full year of wanting to become an electrician, I think doesn't transfer well to become a plumber. So I have to start from zero. I come to university, I think I'm interested in criminal justice, but after a year or so, I decide to change. I really like classics, Greek and Roman stuff. I love Latin. All of the courses you took in your first year count, because generally your first year, you're taking what you like, electives. So all of those courses count towards your degree, because a degree in English is not just English courses. A degree in philosophy is not just philosophy courses. A degree in physics isn't just about physics. It's about courses in other disciplines. So your first year or so, the courses you're taking would count as part of any degree. So students change majors all the time. Students add majors, you do double majors, combine majors, and so on. That is no problem. The first year you're there, you're exploring. Yes, I think you have to declare what major you're in, but it doesn't really matter. If you don't like it, change. And you can change up to the last minute if you have the courses that qualifies you for a particular degree. You can do double major, double honors, and so on. So yes, quite possible. What types of things are discussed in the disability studies program? You should take a look more at the details of the program, but it's the history of disabilities, I don't want to make a mistake here and talk about courses that I think are being offered there. So it's easier for you to go on a website to look at that program. There's also one thing about the program is that we have an agreement with Red River College. So it's a joint, part of it is a joint program. The students can do courses at Red River and then transfer over to us. Is it possible to be a psychologist with a psychology degree? It doesn't take a science, but to be a psychologist takes more than simply a psychology degree, because it is a professional program. So you cannot graduate with a 3-year BA in psychology or even a 4-year BA in psychology, because that's a specialization which requires further study. But again, we can prepare you for that. To become a psychiatrist is also something different. So to become a psychologist, to become a psychiatrist, the first part of it is getting a psychology degree. We do have a prof who specializes in clinical psychology. We have an area in our psychology program. So that would be the first part of preparing you to further your studies and become a psychologist. Again, what classes are required? Again, if you are thinking about law school, the best thing to do is to visit the website of particular law schools. University of Manitoba, as far as I know, have not changed. And the fact sheets are here somewhere in a booth about what they require as classes or courses. I do not think they require any specific course. They may suggest particular areas like probably criminal justice or sociology or psychology and so on. But there are the prerequisite to apply. So a prerequisite to law school is prerequisites to apply, and University of Manitoba says 2 years of university, and that's up to you what you take. But they may suggest something. But the best thing to do is to visit particular websites that have law schools. University of Calgary, University of Toronto, York, Dalhousie, all have law schools. They may say to apply here, you must have these particular courses, or you must have a full 3-year BA. So please visit the courses, the websites of these particular law schools. But I'm pretty sure that University of Manitoba simply says 2 years of university, which is 60 credits to apply. What would be good courses to look into if I'm wanting to go into social work at U of M? Again, I don't think U of M specifies which courses, but again, find the fact sheet. It's here somewhere. And the fact sheet would be under pre-professional programs. But what U of M wants is 1 year of university for you to apply. So again, it's not, they don't want specific courses. They want a year of university. And again, we think we can prepare you very well for the application. That's the same thing pre-social work. Again, whatever you think is relevant to social work, so sociology, psychology, and so on. Those are courses that would be of interest to someone who goes into social work. Again, a particular social work school may suggest certain courses. It's always a very, very good idea to visit the website of the social work school you're thinking of applying for. If I choose to go to business faculty or science faculty, would I still have to go to the Faculty of Arts? Yes, you would. The same thing with students who are art students. They have to take science courses. So it's unavoidable because it's part of our general degree requirements. All of our students must take, all of our graduates must take humanities courses, as all of our graduates must take a science course. So it's unavoidable. You must come to the Faculty of Arts, so it's a good idea to know what we offer. Where am I? Okay. Which yearly degree can help me become a social worker? Again, it's to apply to the U of M social work school. It's 1 year of university, but of course, I always suggest, why not finish? I know for social work it's longer because you just need a year, but I always suggest finishing a full degree before applying to a professional school. High school prerequisites for psych, sociology, no. It's simply the general admission requirements to come to the Faculty of Arts. Yeah. What types of jobs? Creative writing. So that's an English degree program. The departments in arts are very good on their own websites to say, if you have this degree, these are the options for you. But of course, creative writing is not only, well, I'm going to get a creative writing program degree and become a world famous rich poet or a novelist. That is not realistic. But of course, you can work in advertising, you can work in a publishing house, you can go on and become a lawyer, go to law school, you can teach. So there are many options for you. But again, the best thing to do is to visit the English department website, and often departments have a place there where it says, what can you do with a creative writing degree? So that's the best thing to do. Okay, would I change my courses? A course, if you mean a degree program like a major, English, French, criminal justice, psychology, yes, you can always change your major. Can you change courses? Of course, but courses are different. Like if I register in a women's and gender course in September, I have a cert. If I don't like the course in the first week, I can change courses and get into a new one. So there are all those deadlines to be able to enter a course or withdraw from a course. But majors, degree programs, you can change well into years of being at university. You mentioned earlier that 4-year bachelor degrees are more suitable for getting your master's degree. What issues do people encounter in getting a 3-year bachelor's degree and then going to a master's degree? It all depends on the grad school, and I'm pretty sure that most grad schools, most grad programs require a full 4-year degree or an honors degree. Why? Because a grad program, a master's degree, is much more specialized. I have a master's degree in French. It's way more specialized than my French degree. So a 3-year program, it doesn't have the required specialization in most cases to enter a grad program. It doesn't have enough French courses. So I took a 4th year to increase the number of French courses. Why? Because that's what the grad program requires. So again, if you're interested in a particular grad program, look at the requirements, but I'm pretty sure most grad programs require a 4-year degree, and sometimes even beyond a simple 4-year degree, an honors degree, which means much more, but more courses in your discipline. So there are 3-year degrees, there are 4-year degrees, and then there's also a 4-year honors degree, which even has more specialization. And often that's what master's programs want as well. Have I reached the end? Jared,
I believe you are. Yeah, I believe you are.
Okay, wow. All right. So that's it. So thank you very much for listening to me, for watching my